Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov is one of the important figures in the 19th century. His catalog of compositions includes orchestral works, chamber music, piano solos, songs, choral works, and operas. Dance of the Tumblers was originally titled Dance of the Buffoons. It is a light comedy piece taken from the third act of Rimsky-Korsakov's opera Snow Maiden.
The Symphony Number 5 in C minor by Ludwig van Beethoven was written between 1804 and 1808. It is one of the best-known compositions in classical music and one of the most frequently played symphonies, and it was widely considered one of the cornerstones of Western music. E.T.A. Hoffmann described the symphony as one of the most important works of the time. As is typical of symphonies during the classical period, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony has 4 movements. We will be performing number 4, the finale.
Peer Gynt is a 5-act play by the Norwegian dramatist Henrik Ibsen. The play chronicles the journey of its title character from the Norwegian mountains to the North African desert. Norwegian composer Edvard Grieg was commissioned to compose music that supports Peer Gynt's travels around the world and to distant lands. The premiere was on February 24, 1876. It was a triumphant success, and the music has gone on to become perhaps the most recognized and famous of all Norwegian classical music.
Star Dancer by Nathan Dowtrey is dedicated to and inspired by his daughter Penelope, who was 3 years old when this piece was composed. Nathan says, Penelope started expressing greater interest in the moon and the stars. Nothing gets her out of bed faster in the early morning than asking if she wants to go out and look at the stars before the sun comes up. She also has a great affinity for dancing to anything that moves her. This usually means there are drums and hand clapping involved. As it evolves, the piece alternates between lighthearted spinning dances and more raucous foot-stomping dances. I just kept asking myself, what would Penelope like to hear? Star Dancer was commissioned by the Hawaii Youth Percussion Ensemble, Caden Hong, commissioned by project director. Thanks to Sophia Niaz and Catherine Shearer for playing with our percussion ensemble on this piece.
Three simple melodies are introduced separately and then combined after a solo for agago bells. Since the composer wrote plenty of parts for this piece, we will be combining both our symphonic band percussion students and our wind symphonies percussion students. Sophia Nias joins the group once again.
Slingshot is an original piece by Mike Story that includes flexible arrangements to allow for added percussion, which gives the piece a distinct primal feel. We have decided to take some liberty with the suggested tempo by increasing it a bit. We hope you enjoy.
Forrest Gump is a comedy-drama film released in 1994. The film depicts several decades in the life of the title character, Forrest Gump, played by Tom Hanks, a slow-witted and kind-hearted man from Alabama who witnesses and unwittingly influences several defining historical events in the 20th century United States. Alan Silvestri's score masterfully captures the magic of this film.
Danger Zone is a song with music composed by Giorgio Moroder and lyrics written by Tom Whitlock, which American singer-songwriter Kenny Loggins recorded and released in 1986. The song was one of the hit singles from the soundtrack to the 1986 American motion picture Top Gun, the best-selling soundtrack of 1986 and one of the best-selling of all time. According to AllMusic.com, the album remains a quintessential artifact of the mid-'80s, and the album's hits still define the bombastic, melodramatic sound that dominated the pop charts of the era.
I have the need for speed.
Thank you. Before we let these kids go, first of all, awesome job tonight. I did want to recognize there's a special group of people on stage. There are seniors, and they've been recognized tonight by the orchestra parent group with a rose, and we want a special thank you for your time with us and developing and sharing your musicianship with us, and it's been a really special 4 years, and we thank you very much.
The first piece we'll be performing tonight is titled Nabucco Overture, composed by Giuseppe Verdi. Nabucco is an Italian language opera in 4 acts, composed in 1841 by Giuseppe Verdi. The opera follows the plight of the Jews as they are assaulted, conquered, and subsequently exiled from their homeland by the Babylonian king, Nabucco. The historical events are used as background for a romantic and political plot. The opera was produced in Milan, and at the time, northern Italy was under Austrian rule, and the Italian people, eager for a republic of their own, embraced the opera as a dramatization of their own political plight. The opera was an enormous success and launched the composer's career. Verdi commented, "This is the opera with which my artistic career truly begins. And though I had many difficulties to fight against, It is certain that Nabucco was truly born under a lucky star. Enjoy.
now present a medley of two pieces that, aside from their titles, are completely different from each other, yet complement each other so well. Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World and Sam Cooke's What a Wonderful World. Louis Daniel Armstrong, also known as Satchmo, was born August 4, 1901 in New Orleans, Louisiana, and was a leading trumpeter and one of the most influential artists in jazz history. He was also a band leader, singer, film star, comedian, and known as the Ambassador of Hope. His recorded version of What a Wonderful World entered the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999, 28 years after his death, on July 6, 1971. Sam Cooke was born on July 22, 1931, in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and died on December 11, 1964. He was a beloved performer and is recognized as one of the true founders of soul music. Although Cooke lived a short life, dying at the age of 33, he had much success with 29 top 40 hits on the pop charts in the U.S. What a Wonderful World was one of the major hits.
The Magnificent Seven was released in theaters on October 12, 1960. It featured some of the biggest stars of the time period, including Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson, and James Coburn. The 7 title characters are hired to protect a small village in Mexico from a group of marauding bandits. The film was both a critical and commercial success and has been appraised as one of the greatest films of the Western genre. Notes from the composer. The Magnificent Seven was one of the few pictures I wanted to do so badly I really put myself out to get it. In The Magnificent Seven, the purpose of the music was primarily to increase excitement, but it also served in a quite specific way to provide a pacing to a film which would have been much slower without the score. When next you see the film, observe that the music is often faster in tempo than anything that is actually happening on the screen. The film needed music to help give it drive. In that sense, it is quite physical score, as much foreground as background. It was a film that also needed music to suit its locale, and in this case, I felt it should have a blending of many elements of American and Mexican music. Every once in a while, it doesn't happen often you hit on something really quite thrilling. I remember being very excited when I found that opening rhythm. It was like a surge of energy. That's what people really remember.
Scuttlebutt in slang usage means rumor or gossip, deriving from the nautical term for the cask used to serve water. The term corresponds to the colloquial concept of a water cooler in an office setting, which at times becomes a focus of congregation and casual discussion. A series of solos features the concert tom, snare drum, and timpani players with smaller solo interjections from the rest of the ensemble as well. In past years, our percussion ensembles have also performed two other pieces by Jim Casella, Technology and Stormbreaker.
If you were to ask the average person where they would have heard any piece of classical music, most likely they would say from Bugs Bunny cartoons. We proudly present a medley of classic music made popular from the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes cartoon series. Included in this piece are excerpts from it. This Is It, William Tell Overture, Barbara of Seville, The Merry-Go-Round Broke Down, Hungarian Rhapsody, Hungarian Dance, The Ride of the Valkyries, and Merrily We Roll Along.
This short, spirited work is extracted from John Philip Sousa's final and uncompleted stage work, The Irish Dragon. Composed in 1914 through 1915, the opera was completed through the second act, but remained unfinished due to the death of the opera's writer, Joseph Herbert. Throughout the 1920s, Sousa attempted to locate a qualified writer to finish his opera, but to no avail. The unsorted sketch, short and full score materials were reconstructed by Loris John Schizzle in the 1980s, and the present edition published in 2010.
So before we have our last piece, we do have a presentation to make. And I believe she was going to come out anyway. Yes, but before we do that, we do like to ask our seniors in the ensemble to please stand up so they can be recognized for an outstanding, some of them 4 years of music.
Again, thank you guys for sharing your talents, and really it's been a pleasure for 4 years. Thank you so much. Also like to recognize one more person on stage, and that is Ms. Hutchinson. She's been with us. She's a student teacher. She's been with us since March, and she's done an outstanding job with us. She conducted with the freshman groups last night, and she's performing with us today. She's been just an awesome inspiration, both as a musician and as a person. She's going to be a wonderful teacher, and we wish her all the best of luck, and thank you very much.
And she thought she was just coming up here to do some more spiels, but we wanted to also recognize an amazing woman who has led the orchestra parent group for something like close to a decade at this point. And that is, I mean, it's a small but mighty group that has probably given away, been responsible for giving away tens of thousands of dollars in scholarship awards to seniors, and it did not hardly even put on the brakes one bit during COVID. And we're just so happy that she was with us all this time. But I do believe she has, even her children have been out now for a year. So it's time she wants to step away, and we totally get that. But we wanted to recognize our orchestra parent group president, Helly Mae Cheney.
So that wasn't fair because I knew I was going to cry anyway. Now it's just worse. It has been a pleasure and an honor to be with the organization for all these years. I'm Helly Mae Cheney, and I'm responsible for all those emails you've been getting every month for the last, a lot of years. The Orchestra Parent Group has supported all the instrumental music students here at Hunterdon Central, the winds, the strings, the percussion students, our amazing music program, and our great teachers, all of them, for several decades now. The organization has helped to fund and organize trips, workshops. We've raised money, as Mr. Magalio said, for senior scholarships. Next week, we'll be handing out another $3,500 to some very deserving seniors. I want to say that in the last 5 years, the number has been over $15,000. So we're very proud of that. All of the small ensembles that have special polo shirts, the OPG funds that. We've purchased instruments when needed. We'll do whatever it is that the teachers ask us to do, within reason, but they're usually pretty reasonable. Every year we host a pizza party at the end of the year for all the music students, and the roses that our seniors are recognized here with tonight is our sacred end-of-year tradition that we're very proud of. As Mr. Magalio said, I joined the organization in 2014. After the open house night in September, my husband and I attended the very first meeting, and I've been here ever since. I have had two sons. One graduated in 2018, the other last year. They both chose music as what I call their team sport. They gave it their all, they loved it, and I was so great to have an opportunity to become involved in what they were doing to support them and their peers. Got to know their friends, and it was just a really great experience. I've served as president since, I think, 2016, and through the pandemic. I'm glad to say that Mary Ann Kenny has served as my vice president this year. She stepped up. She's a freshman parent and has offered to throw her hat in the ring to be president next year. Ben Witherall has been our treasurer also for just as long. He has a graduating senior here tonight. But yeah, and he has also very graciously offered to stay on until we can find him a replacement. Dawn Strout, who I believe is here somewhere in the audience, has served as our listserv manager. After my speech last year at this time, she came to our next meeting and offered her help, and I believe she'll be with us for another year. But they can't do it alone. It's such a great organization. I know that you don't want to see it fall. So we're just asking for a couple more parents to step up, fill the extra board positions that we need. It really doesn't take very much time, an hour or so once a month, and then as I'm sure some of you have seen us selling concessions at the concerts, you're here anyway. Why not lend a hand for an hour? So you'll be receiving one last reminder for our last meeting, which is on the 14th. So please consider joining us. If you can't make the meeting, send me an email. You know how to find me now, I'm sure of it. We would really appreciate your help to allow this great organization to keep going. So that's my spiel. I hope that you'll take me up on my offer. Thank you so much for the flowers, and I'm going to cry. But before I cry, I have to call out my last 50-50. So hopefully someone here will go home with another $69 in your pocket. The winning number is 9938152. 9938152. Do we have a winner? Anybody? Oh, there it is. Very awesome. Congratulations. So come after the last song, please come see us out in the hallway. But again, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And now, making its 14th annual appearance is Mr. Magalio's arrangement of Illuminations, the music that accompanies the fireworks at Epcot each evening. The piece is actually divided into 3 movements. Chaos, representing the creation of the planet Earth from a cosmic event. Chaos turns to order. As the Earth cools, it changes from hot white to red to blue. And lastly, meaning, where the theme "We Go On" is heard in different styles, followed by an upbeat conclusion in mixed meter. The piece also includes a short coda placed at the end. This tag ending, entitled "We Go On," will feature orchestra member Max Najeko on vocals and will include both orchestras performing this evening. We hope you enjoyed this evening's concert, and now we present Illuminations, Reflection of Earth.
Thank you. With the stillness of the night, there comes a time to understand, to reach out, to touch tomorrow, take the future in our hands. We can see a new horizon built on all that we have done, and our dreams begin another thousand circles round the sun. We go on to the joy, and through the tears we go on to discover new frontiers, moving on with the current of the years. We go on, moving forward now as one, moving on with the spirit born to run, never on with the rising sun to a new day we go on. We go
So thank you very much, so much for your support, supporting your children in the arts, as we always say. This is our final, well, I can't say it's our actual final concert. Our final concert will be graduation, which many of this, in fact, almost all the seniors will be participating in our pre-concert, which will feature most of the pieces from this ensemble's the pieces tonight. So we look forward to seeing our senior parents there. And for everyone else, we wish you a wonderful rest of the school year and a wonderful summer. And anybody who's a non-senior, we do have a Disney trip meeting for next week, Monday, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock here, if you're interested, and if you think you might want to take part in that wonderful experience. Thank you so much, guys. Have a pleasant evening. Drive safe.